Okay, we are now live. What is up, everyone? Bienvenidos. Welcome to another edition of our online open mic, something we call the stay at home open mic. So, hopefully, you guys are nice and comfortable at home. And, you got a snack, you got your favorite drink, you have a nice place to sit down because once again, we have another night filled with all sorts of excellent poetry, writing, performance, and hopefully a little music, a little goes a long way. So my name is Richie Marrufo. Most of you guys know that. I am the host. You can also find me online on Instagram at Dead Wall Reveries. We are based out of El Paso, Texas as part of the Barbed Wire open mic series right there. And if you want to be kept up to date with future shows, then I encourage you guys to follow us online. If you are watching on YouTube right now, first of all, I want to give you a shout out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. If you are watching live, thank you so much. You're a real one. You were there waiting for us to start the live stream. So that's pretty cool. If not, though, I do welcome you either way. Like if you're watching this after the fact, you are in for a treat. Again, we always have a list of performers, a lot of regulars. And as always, I encourage people to bring out any new pieces they want, dust anything off, try anything new that they want to, anything experimental. That includes cover poems, something we do a lot here. And it's a nice way just to pay tribute to people we admire, we respect, in terms of authors or people that we know. A lot of these performers also have their own books published, their collections of poems. Maybe they make music or make content on YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram. As a platform, I encourage you guys to definitely follow all these wonderful people if you don't already. Now, one of the things that I'd like to do is promote our YouTube channel. So if you're watching right now and you aren't subscribed, what are you doing? It's so easy. You're already on YouTube. Just go and click the subscribe button. And again, we have more content that we do outside of these online mics. In fact, now that I have a couple weeks off from teaching and school and all that stuff, I have mountains of content to edit, live performances from open mics, and some series, some podcast interviews, all sorts of cool stuff like that. In fact, last week we were, celebrating Robin's birthday, and I just posted that in the Zoom chat. But for those of you on YouTube, check the live stream because I'm going to post a link right there. I have a performance of Robin Schofield reading live at Craft Rhythm and Brews. There's also one there that we uploaded of Kit. They're both great. I uploaded as a double feature, and that was really fun. If you follow us on Instagram, you may have seen I did a little teaser of Kit's performance to promote the YouTube. It was a little bit of a clickbaity one because he was talking about his love for the comedians. But you had to watch the YouTube video to see the full performance. Anyway, my point is, if you can, subscribe, and you can also click on the bell to be notified every time we go live or schedule a live event just like this. And if you ever want to perform, if you ever want to participate, because I do know a lot of people, I still talk to people when I'm out and about who watch the live stream just so they can see, but they're too shy to sign up. And, I encourage you, it's not that bad. You'll sign up and you get to meet a lot of cool people, or really they get to meet you, so if you ever get the courage to do so, I know it's in you. And we were fully welcome here. If you ever want to sign up, the link to sign up is always in the description of our YouTube channel. With that said, open mic time. We got plenty of people signed up. So I'm going to call them up to the stage. They have about 5 to 7 minutes to do their thing. And then, of course, I encourage everyone to share anything that they have going on this week or the next week, featured performances, their own shows, and, of course, to promote their social media and anything that they have out that you guys can support. All right, cool. I feel like I'm talking a long time. That means it's time to go ahead and transition into the beginning of the show. As I said, we are based out of El Paso, Texas, and we're going to stay in El Paso, Texas. She does have two collections of poetry out, and a third one on the way from Mouthfeel Press. Really looking forward to that. Let's go ahead and kick things off with Robin Schofield. What's up, Robin?
Hey, Richie. Hi,
Hey.
everybody being here. Let's see, why am I not coming on here?
Happy birthday.
There I am. Nope. All right, there I am. All right, I think all my poems tonight are going to be cover poems in that they are some translations I'm working on. I didn't know Ron was going to be here, so now I feel really nervous about the translations because they're from Rainer Maria Rilke. So, but I took German reading in college, so I think I have it. This is from the first series of the sonnets to Orpheus, which Rilke wrote for a 19-year-old dancer who passed away at 19. Oh, you lovers, tread softly in the breath that doesn't mean for you to carry it divided on your cheeks. Behind you, it trembles together again. Oh, you holy ones, oh, you whole ones, you who shine in the beginning of hearts, bows for arrows and targets of arrows, forever polish your smile full of tears. Don't be afraid to suffer the heaviness. Give it back to the earth's burden. Heavy are the mountains, heavy are the seas. Even those you planted as children, the trees, became too heavy long ago. You can't carry them, but the air, but the spaces. So these are not a regular sort of elegies, but they're prayers and meditations, and above all, they are sonnets. And this is the fifth one in the first series. Erect no headstone. Let the rose bloom each year for his grace. Then Orpheus exists, his metamorphosis in this and this. We should not trouble ourselves about another name. One for all time is Orpheus when he sings. He comes and goes. It's not too much when he comes through the rose bowl sometimes for a couple of days. Oh, how he must wane for you to understand. And even when he himself fears that he wanes, in that his word surpasses our being, he is barely there where you cannot go along. The grid of the lyre does not force his hands, and he complies in that he transcends. So those are some of from the first series of the sonnets, and this one is an often translated poem from the second series, and it's number 13 in the second series, and it's often translated, be ahead of all departing. But I thought there was a little play that could be done there, so that's what I did. Be before all departing, as though it were behind you, like the winter going out just now. For among winters is one so endlessly winter that your overwintering heart barely pulls through. Be dead always in Eurydice. Rise and sing, stand and praise, climbing to your purest frequency. Here, with what's winking out, be ruled by entropy. Be a ringing glass that shatters as it rings. Be and know full well the condition of non-being, the endless ground of your inner shiver shimmering, that you may fulfill to the utmost your one and only moment. To all things spent, and to the dumbstruck and mute, multiplied from nature's fullness, to the unsayable suns, number yourself joyfully added, and zero out the balance. So those are some of my translations of Rilke. And I'm going to be featuring in Tumble Words on August 20th and 27th. And I'm going to do The Radical Amazement of Rainer Maria Rilke And we're going to focus some on these sonnets and also on the new poems. So it should be a good workshop. So come along if you'd like to learn a little more about the Prague-born German poet Rilke.
Very cool. Awesome. And if people want to catch up with Tumblewords, they just follow on Facebook, right?
Right. Yeah. Follow it on Facebook. Kid is posting the link on the community message board thing, the community message. So yeah, come along to Tumblewords. It's every Saturday from 1 to 3 Mountain Time. It's always something good. Has anyone ever been to a really bad Tumblewords?
I felt myself, just yeah. So Robin, thank you so much for kicking it off. And of course, if people want to follow you, they can just find you as well. Just type in your name.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. Just type my name in.
All right, excellent. Thank you. Yeah, definitely. And of course, that's none other than Robin, the poet laureate of Tumblewords. So man, we got the whole grid going on. Got you guys on the live stream. Caught you. Those of you who had your cameras on. I know we don't do the forced camera thing, so you guys can chill. But anyway, thank you, Robin, so much. Again, check out on YouTube. I made a video of her live set. Go check that out. Give it a like, listen to it. Let us know which one, what you liked in the comments, like we do here. If you like a line, just type out the lines you loved in the comment section. It's always great. A great way to get feedback. And while you're there, stick around and catch all the other cool performances that I've uploaded on our YouTube channel. All right, we're going to go ahead and stick around in our time zone and visit our friend in Denver, who always just kills it with his stage presence and performativity. Let's go ahead, and also just the great covers. Let's go ahead and welcome back to the stage, Mike Sindler. What's going on, man?
Hello, everybody. Go ahead and do the inevitable and get the lighthousewriters.org plug in. You people out there in YouTube land, listen and obey. You should check it out. It's a great thing. So today is like National Cat Day. So I thought I'd do a cat poem. And this is called Cat and Crystal. Relationships, like figurines resting delicately at the edge of a mantle, sparkle with reflected, refined fire of memory, each layered with dust, muted monuments to connection and affection. Lurking behind the silent black cat of resentment and remembered slights, awkward moments and lapses of gentility, threatens to knock them one by one off their resting place onto a hard, unforgiving floor where they shatter into jagged splinters, unrecoverable, unrepairable, unrecognizable, that cannot be swept away nor forgotten as long as bare wood that marks their absence, encircled by a thin veil that deepens with times passing like snow, the fine sawdust milled from the crafting of a life remains. Eventually, these motes will fill in the hollow, and in neither fondness nor remorse, anger nor regret will be distinguishable from those grains of silica crushed between foot and floorboard that mix with other matter to become indecipherably entwined. Through it all, the infernal cat alternates between sleep, its purr-arousing dreams, and wild, skittish, unpredictable attacks, sending more precious relics to their doom. Still, new ornaments are placed upon this same unsafe perch. Some stand for years, some only moments. Cat's play is beyond conscious discernment. No move exists, no plan, no placement so perfect that an instant's touch cannot cause an element to fall and crack. And even still, knowing full well its nature, its unceasing urge, its mischievous will to disturb and destroy. This feral feline is fed and fondled, never driven down nor shooed away. Even when it reaches claws out to scratch flesh as an outstretched hand in futile attempt to catch a falling figurine fails and bleeds. Its hypnotic and addictive attraction outweighs reason. Again and again, with full knowledge of the risk, treasures are placed in peril until, with last shared breath of pet and patron, the culminating crystal falls as it crashes before the hearth below. The final lingering embers of illumination fade to black. And I thought I would also do one that's just sort of summary, and it's called To the Waterfall. We must first ask the farmer for permission to cross his fallow field. Admittance gained, we stride past passive cows long accustomed to occasional strangers. Crickets sing and leap in the high grass. At the far end, we climb over gate, move from sunshine into cool woods. Under dense canopy of pine, maple, and sycamore, we follow time-worn familiar trails, ear cocked to catch water's utterance and echo. Finding creek, we meander, following bank's edge, sneakers sliding over ground cover, kicking cones into swirling stream to watch them sail. Arriving at anticipated clearing, mud bank gives way to gray granite shelf bearing swift sparkling falls, sliding down sandy slope, grasping slim trunks of bending saplings, slipping onto gravel-rich sandy shoal, stripping to swimsuits, clothes draped on boulders or left hanging like warning flags on low branches, keds and cons anchoring jeans, sweaty t-shirts flounder against sweltry humid gusts, scampering towards adventure's goal, spectacular point of plummet, feet sink under spindly legs, leaves submerged trails, crouching as we part the veil, thick, clear wall of slow cascade fringed by sprinkle and spray, falls parting curtain pouring over polished brim of cataract, drips hushed by moss carpeting sliding over algae slicks. We slip between wide lips into narrow cave, mere yards from front to back, thin triangular mouth like aperture, dark and cool. Inside, red and yellow salamanders curl and scamper through fingers, resting momentarily on open palms, then diving acrobatically to slick stone home, disappearing in an instant. Exiting the cave, we float in the current sculpted pool of rounded sand and stone, just past the cascade where the next narrows. Extended X-shaped buoyant boys on our backs, eyes up at the sky, guessing the weather to come from shape of passing clouds. Towel dry, we replace outer garments, stuffed soaked terry cloth into knapsack, climb back up bank sideways, feet digging into soil, sit in circle on flat rock next to point where rolling water greets gravity, descends with wonder towards thin, trickling serpentine future home to tadpoles, crayfish, and minnows. Pulling sandwiches from sack, we dine, a simple picnic ending with apples whose cores we toss across the water, marking the strongest, farthest throw. Sun long past overhead, casting late afternoon shadows, our signal, retracing steps, bidding gentle cows goodbye and goodnight. We leave, dripping knapsack tossed into trunk, stowaway creek water, journeys on down country lane. Past pine forest and fields, fence post melting in exhausted adolescent eyes, drunk with clung to flasks, elixir, reflection, sediment of brewed adventure, falling into slumber, following nature's gravity from journey to diversion to remembrance. And I'm going to go ahead and put on the hat, and couldn't really think of what to do, so I went with about as classic a lyric as you can find. And most of y'all will recognize this. It's called Chimes of Freedom. Far between sundown's finish and midnight's broken toll, we ducked inside the doorway, thunder crashing as majestic bells of bolts struck shadows and the sounds seeming to be the chimes of freedom flashing. Flashing for the warriors whose strength is not to fight, flashing for the refugees on the unarmed road of flight, and for each and every underdog soldier in the night, and we gazed upon the chimes of freedom flashing. In the city's melted furnace, unexpectedly we watched with faces hidden as the walls were tightening, as the echo of the wedding bells before the blowing rain dissolved into the bells of the lightning. Tolling for the rebel, tolling for the rake, tolling for the luckless, the abandoned and forsaken, tolling for the outcast burning constantly at stake, and we gazed upon the chimes of freedom flashing. Though the mad mystic hammering of the wild ripping hail, the sky cracked its poems in naked wonder, that the clinging of the church bells flew far into the breeze, leaving only bells of lightning and its thunder, striking for the gentle, striking for the kind, striking for the guardians and protectors of the mind, and the poet and the painter, and far behind is rightful time, and we gazed upon the chimes of freedom flashing. In the wild cathedral evening, the rain unraveled tales for the disrobed faceless forms of no position, toiling for the tongues with no place to bring their thoughts, all down in taken for granted situations. Tolling for the deaf and blind, tolling for the mute, for the mistreated, mateless mother, the prostitute, for the misdemeanor outlaw chased and cheated by pursuit. And we gazed upon the chimes of freedom flashing. Even though a cloud's white curtain and a far off corner flashed and the hypnotic spattered mist was slowly lifting, electric lights still struck like arrows fired, but for the ones condemned to drift or else be kept from drifting. Tolling for the searching ones on their speechless seeking trail, for the lonesome hearted lovers with too personal a tale, and for each unharmful, gentle soul misplaced inside a jail. And we gazed upon the chimes of freedom flashing. Starry-eyed and laughing as I recall when we were caught, trapped by no track of ours, for they hang suspended. And we listened one last time and we watched with one last look, spellbound and swallowed till the tolling ended. Tolling for the aching whose wounds cannot be nursed, for the countless confused, accused, misused, strung out ones and worse, and for every hung up person in the whole wide universe. And we gazed upon the chimes of freedom flashing. There's a reason they gave that guy a Nobel Prize. Thank you very much.
Dylan, classic. Love that one. I actually hadn't heard that, and it's always great to hear your rendition of it. I love it, Mike. And of course, lighthouseWriters.org. Thank you so much for joining us. I swear you summoned thunder during that reading, so it shook with extra weight behind it, and shout out as always, to solidarity to our peeps out there, undergoing whatever they're going through, downtrodden, oppressed. So thank you, Mike, for sharing that. And of course, your poems are always excellent as well. Thank you, man. Okay. What is up, everyone? You are currently watching the Stay at Home Open Mic. We do this every Monday. Most of you guys already know that, at least who are signed up. But if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to say hi. Let us know where you're tuning in from. All right, we're going to go ahead and keep going. We've been hanging out Mountain Time Zone. That's our time zone. But this is because it's the internet. We're all over the place, right? We're pretty much meeting in space in a way. That's why if you ever see my promos on Instagram, I always use a little astronaut as a symbol, because we're gathering perspective, we're looking at different perspectives. In fact, one that's bigger than our own. So let's go ahead and let's see. We're going to go to the East Coast to visit our main man from Maine. And according to today, he's joining us from a cryogenic chamber because it's freaking hot, because it's freaking heat. Those are his words, but I sympathize with them. All right, let's go ahead and welcome to the stage, back on the mic, Generalissimo. What's going on, my friend? Welcome back to the show. Are you feeling any cooler now?
Well, right now, where I'm reading from, it's 80 degrees in this room. That's the downstairs of my house. And the upstairs where my bedroom is always 10 to 15 degrees hotter during the summer. So it's going to be at least 90 degrees when I go to bed. It's not going to be an easy night to sleep. The first poem I wrote this afternoon in the Obeel Poetry Open Mic in Ireland. They have a 5-word challenge where they give you 5 words to write a poem with. The 5 words were angel, offshore, harbor, laugh, and seagulls. And so this poem is titled Why Seagulls Notoriously Are Absent a Sense of Humor. Do seagulls laugh? It is a mystery as much as the existence of angels. Maybe seagulls are angels that fell to earth due to untoward behavior in the afterlife, sent back to exist as creatures that soar through the firmament as grandiose, offshore, living, mobile sculptures, existing in their harbor towns with restaurants serving delectable seafood culinary creations, yet forced to dive into salty seas for their sustenance. What must one who has achieved entry into heaven do for such a disciplinary sentence? Obviously, not at all a laughable offense. Okay, this is a very old piece of mine called Fight of the Bumblebee. Hey, Bumblebee, what you doing buzzing around me? I didn't ask for your bite or your sting. Please fly away and leave me be. Wait, what's that buzzing I hear? I think it's that bumblebee flying around my ear. I thought I told him to leave me alone. Maybe I should swat him, then he'll be dead and gone. Yes, he's driving me so bonkers I'm about to fall off my rocker. But hold on, God made him just like he made me. I guess that bumblebee don't mean no harm. He's one little guy, not a whole swarm. I think I'll let him land on my arm. So I hold out my arm and begin to walk. Next thing I know, that bumblebee begins to talk. You human beings, I don't understand your kind. You think us bumblebees just fly around and buzz, buzz, buzz? Your narrow minds just ruffle my fuzz. Hey, Bumblebee, what you doing buzzing around me? What right do you have cutting me in my own down? He just says, us bumblebees got minds of our own. We do so much more than buzzing and flying around. Then he flew away, speeding through the air, and it didn't take long to forget he was there. This is 5 haikus about tomatoes. 1, biting into a juicy homegrown tomato can be quite messy. 2, the green tomato who got fried before it was ripe was delicious. 3, gazpacho with green zebra tomatoes is soup that is best served cold. 4, Mary Queen of Scots ate a bloody tomato, then drank some vodka. And 5, a jalapeno asked a tomato to dance and salsa was born. It is very hot. Don't get a big head just because Marilyn Monroe sang a song about We're having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave. The temperature is rising. It isn't surprising. Dear heat wave, is life fun for you? I wonder if weather patterns have social lives. I mean, would you date a hailstorm or blizzard or vice versa? Are you a bad boy in the weather world? I mean, would you bring a tornado or tsunami to Thanksgiving just to piss off your family? Makes the mercury jump to 93. Oh, 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 we're having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave. On days when you are present, hotels raise rates at least $50 to $100. Do you get a kickback? Do you see a shrink? Where do you reside when you disappear from the atmosphere? Scientists blame human activities for your continued persistence and increasing intensity. Are you anti-electric cars and windmills? I understand you are heavily invested in fossil fuels and multinational electricity providers. Guadalupe, 97. Santo Domingo, 99. Martinique, 105. We're having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave. The temperature is rising. It isn't surprising. In the end, you just cause trouble and create hot sidewalks and heat exhaustion. Your most prevalent quality is that you are exhausting. You must thank God every day for the existence of the 1954 musical, There's No Business Like Show Business, and the late, great Marilyn Monroe. I do have one more that is a cover, but I'm not putting on a hat because it's too hot to put on a hat where I am. And so last week I was at a live open mic in Portland, Maine, and there's this young poet named August Pearson who allowed me to read his poem. I asked him if I could read it at an open mic. It's called One-Sided Conversation. It's surprisingly easy to choke instead of speak. Words get caught on a lump in my throat. Easier to stay quiet, let this moment ferment in stagnant air. Truth would break the spell. It's surprisingly easy to choke instead of think. Play chicken with my train of thought, too confident / stubborn to twitch. Certain the tracks could swerve away from me, grinning until I am totaled. Too expensive to repair. It's surprisingly easy to choke instead of doing anything. Thoughts of racing at a pace I cannot support. Expectant looks I cannot feed. Only push out stillborn sentences. Eyes glance away, but if you only knew, if you only were in here with me, there are psalms in my synapses, broken prayers on my lips. It's so easy to choke. Thank God we try to do anything else. Thank you very much. That was by August Pearson.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much.
I tried to get him to come to this, and I'm trying to get some of those Portland people who don't do Zoom to come to these things, because there are some fantastic young poets in Portland that really need to get this kind of exposure.
Yeah, keep at them.
Absolutely. You've always been such a great bridge too for a lot of these communities. So I appreciate that. And that's a great use of the cover poem too. So yeah, now you're going to have to clip this and send it to him off the YouTube channel for sure.
Well, I don't know how to really do that. So you might have
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Cool. So what do you have coming up, man? Any promo that you'd like to make?
Yeah. You know what? I'll put it in the chat, but yes, on the 7th of September, first on the 15th, Monday the 15th is my next Cafe Generalissimo. On the 7th of September, I have a 10-minute feature for Great Weather for Media. I'm very proud of that. And then, of course, the New York Poetry Festival on the 10th, Saturday the 10th, I will be reading for Red or Green Books. On the 11th, I'll be reading for Timlin Tambappi's Q's Blue World. And maybe I'll find some other stuff to do around that time, you know, libraries, something like that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Thank you.
There you go. That's right. That's sometimes that's what you got to do, you know, see what happens. Thank you, Generalissimo, everyone. And yeah, check them out online and any of those features. That sounds great. I have an idea I was just thinking of, because I've always been envious of the way you create titles for your pieces. So maybe we can do like a special edition, like title writing workshop, for those of us who maybe never do that, that'd be kind of a, no, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I'm going to put a bookmark on that conversation and we'll return to it. But yes,
Yes, I can also have a $1 fee for writing a title for your poem.
Oh, do you hear that? Commissions.
Yeah. And then we'll charge $20 to have Kit read it for you because Kit's got the best.
Yeah, that way you can get an air conditioner for the bedroom.
It all works out. Poets helping poets. That's what it's about. That's the dream.
Kit can get a fan with what I make, and I'll get an air conditioner with what Kit makes.
Oh, I love this scenario that we've created. Excellent. It's gonna happen. We're gonna make it happen. All right. What's up, everyone? Oh, also, if you can, those of you who are on a Zoom call, please feel free to share the YouTube link out there in the world if anyone wants to tune in and check this out. It doesn't have to be live. Again, there's going to be a replay of this. And if you are watching that replay, thanks for clicking that link. Thanks for joining us. We're going to go ahead and keep going on. We're going to go to South Euclid, Ohio. And I believe we're going to go literally to outer space. Yes, I said literally. And visit Poet Maester Doc. He's got a good view of this whole thing. All right, what's going on up there, Doc? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing. I featured at a bookstore in Cleveland this past Saturday. I'll be featuring at another bookstore in Shaker Heights this coming Saturday. I've got an ekphrastic poetry event that I'm working on setting up as a fundraiser for a local charity. And I'm trying to interest a nearby art center in having poetry events. So I'm busy. I'm busy. Okay. This really does not have a title yet, and it's still a work in progress. We stand at a crossroads on the threshold of to be or not to be on this island Earth, this starship Earth. An uncertain future holds our gaze amid a convergence of conflicting thought and contentious days. Dark veils are drawn across our dreams, revealing but shadows, silhouettes, and outlines of what could be. Fears of the different and the unknown, inherited, drawn from distant ancestors, color, thought, and action. Wedges capitalized upon by the madness of greed and the lust for power, affecting all they touch with dread, doubt, and suspicion. A corruption of purpose, an atmosphere of uncaring, a willingness to hate, preyed upon by zealots, no matter their stripe. In the density of our existence lies a cultural capital in a middle ground, a time and place unseen amid the traumas of time. And poets as Gnostics, in leaps of faith and imagination, of a fulsome understanding, imagine our work affecting others, turning to positives we found, until those with strength, not power, shared with others, riding out human storms amid sounds and colors of time, reveled in dreams of the future, become an understanding of differences being similarities, with faceted layers of identity known by the genes we inherent in the who and what of us. And this is a cover. It is based, well, not based, it is a poem by Lorca the Spanish title is Por encontrar un beso tuyo, to find a kiss of yours. I'm going to attempt to read it in Spanish and also in English. Por encontrar un beso tuyo, que daría yo? What would I give to find a kiss of yours? Un beso errante de tu boca, muerta para el amor, an errant kiss from lips dead to love. Tierra de sombra como mi boca, I would taste the shadows of earth. Por contemplar tus ojos negros, que daría yo? What would I give to gaze into your dark eyes? Auroras de carbunclos insados, abiertas frente a Dios. Those iridescent jewels open now only to God. Las estrellas los siguieron una mañana de mayo. I would be blind to the stars of a morning in May. Y por besar tus musclos castos, que daría yo? And what would I give to kiss your virgin thighs? Cristo de rosa primitiva, sedimento de sal, raw rosy rubies, jewels of the sun. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Sorry, I was accidentally muted. Right on. Always appreciate the tribute to Lorca there. What do you have going on coming up this week? I know you kind of already mentioned that at the beginning, but how can people also connect with you online if they want to?
They can find me on my Facebook page, Doc Janning, and I do have my event, Awanites, coming up on Sunday the 21st. Follow the Awanites page on Facebook, and the information to connect via Zoom will be posted on Saturday the 20th. So
all right. Now. There you go. Excellent. There you go. That's the invitation. That's all you needed, guys. So go through, go check it out. And as always, thank you, Doc Janning. Yo, hopefully you enjoy the rest of the view up there in space. All right, cool. Enjoy the view. It's a great view. Really is. All right. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Buddy's Beer Barn. They are a local business in El Paso. I went to go grab some beer earlier. They are close to my house, and it's pretty cool just to drive by kind of drive through thing where you go and you can get any. They have a pretty great beer selection, but they recognized BWOMS and what we do, so they gave me some free beer. So that's always really cool. So I want to give a shout out to Buddy's Beer Barn for that. That's always awesome. Also, I want to give a shout out to everyone who is just tuning in just to support. You know, we had Finn Bell in a little bit earlier. Check out her stuff at Fincabulary. Jenny, who was always here to support. Appreciate you so much. Thanks for tuning in. We've got Patty looking in. We've got a couple other peeps, you know, let me see, that are just here to support. Appreciate you guys so much. And of course, everyone on YouTube. That was just a quick announcements, you know. Yeah, Buddy's Beer Barn. If you're on the east side-ish area, go hit them up. They also have food trucks, like a food truck little circus there that you can go visit. That's available on the weekends. I live right by there, so I've been hitting it up a lot lately. Okay, so let's go and keep going, guys. I know, a little commercial, right? Let's go ahead, and we're gonna go to New Jersey, and we're gonna tune in to one of the newest literary superheroes here in the world. That's right, she goes by the Chameleon. She's always in disguise, even times with their Zoom background. So let's go ahead and welcome back to the show. Let's hear it for Terry Rose, TRJ from NJ. What's up?
I like all these acronyms. They flow better than my poems, some of them. Wow. Okay. So here's one I did in Tumblewords. Can I say it right? No. I am not an evil bitch, as some may have adopted as their truth. Still, I am sorry for whatever gave you that impression. I analyze, ponder, speak about my truth, your truth, society's version, the one I have the most trouble with, the tainted kind. Probably comes from years of tiptoeing around, trying not to say or do the wrong thing, and still condemned, sent to a virtual prison of the mind, a life sentence. I do not live in that place of repression, despite them. My truth is that I cannot, my truth is that I am not an evil bitch. Don't let the facts sway the verdict. They already made up their minds and dismissed the jury. That's a 1. Then I have the final last straw. Lies, your twisted version of the truth. There's a foul wind emanating from the blowhole below your nose, and it knows each and every repetition of falsehoods ignite my anger. I feel my eyes bulge in response. My tongue swells, forehead throbs with foreknowledge of fork-tonguedness. Instincts tell me to run. You running your version of the tall tale, changing each time the memory fails. I warn you, you are not good at this. Caught like a fly in the trap you consistently set for yourself. And I have another short one. And these are all from Tumblewords. And I said it right that time. Yay. Compromise. A dirty word to some who feel that they are somehow compromised when doing so. Meet me in the middle sounds easy enough, yet stubbornness keeps us at odds when we used to be the best of friends. What a sad end. If we could just get past our differences to find a common ground, peace and sanity would abound. Why does this task seem to be so impossible? This dream I want to awaken in you. This is the impossible dream I need to believe. And I had one more, which I kind of like this one because it's sassy. I like the sassy stuff, you know me. So this doesn't have a title. And I think this was from Amanda's workshop. Say something stupid. Go ahead. Say anything because you do not have an original thought of your own. Are you just repeating after me? Are you just repeating after me? Are you just repeating after me? Are you just repeating everything I say? Repeating my thoughts, my views back to me? Make me think you're listening? No, just keep nodding your head as I'm speaking to make me think you're following along in the conversation. Did you lose the psalm in your own song? No, because you never had your own song. So that's that piece. I have one that's not like a slam piece, so I'm going to do this one. And it's called My Rock. In my darkest moments, I know I can call on you, my rock. You do not ask for anything back from me. You stay steady and true. You represent strength. Hardened by the elements, by the winds and salty sea, I would come to tell you all my problems. Lay them at your feet. And you quietly listen and support. It's sad that people can't become like you. But a stone for a broken heart, imperfection is part of the human condition. When there's always a hidden agenda. What do you want in return for your favor? My rock asks for nothing and is eternal, eternally waiting for me. Thank you.
So thank you. Love the cat ears. Love the cat ears.
Yeah, if you can, they're
It is
kind of
cat
blurred
day.
out there. You.
I got it. So do you have anything you'd like to promote as well? Or of course your book, how we can get it for our awesome fans watching right now on YouTube?
Yeah, if I can go off camera for a second. So on August 22nd, I am going to be featuring on Moist Mondays on Red or Green Books with Marissa Prada. And I'm going to be at the Poetry Festival on the Red or Green Book stage on, I think, the 11th. And I also have my book for sale. You can get me on social media, on Facebook, on Teresa Rose Jurtson, or you can find me on Instagram on IFUNNIEZ Mom, which is, as said, iFunny's mom. And there's one more event. Oh, the one that's coming up on August 21st is a feature on Java Speaks. And you can get tickets for that on Eventbrite. And it's free. It's a free event. That's what I got.
All right. I love free events. As long as we can keep doing that for the arts, that is what is up. Thank you, Terry Rose Jurtson, everyone. TRJ from NJ. That's right. The Chameleon. Thanks for tuning in as always and getting to share your work with us. Yes. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and go from the East Coast and come back home for a little bit, El Paso. And well, actually, let's do this right. It's been a while since I've done this, but intro music. All right. Without further ado, you guys all know him as Mr. Monday Night. That's right, a BWOMS bouncer. He also, of course, Tumblewords. You've heard all the love tonight. Without further ado, let's go ahead and welcome Kit Wren to the stage. Kit, take it away, man.
Oh my! Oh, thank you, Richie, for the NFL Films introduction. I can't get enough of that. That was awesome. Oh. Well, we'll get to that when the season starts, I suppose. But before then, two of mine and then the cover. It's going to be a little different for the next month or so, but we'll get to that soon enough. We are still quick to appeal to the conscience and tell the ones who would cleave us apart that history will judge them. Yet we live in fear of the only physiological proof of this. Why? You, hangover, are the only one who knows what really happened. I trust only your account, not any texts, nor any photography, because no headache yet has ever told me a lie. Hangover, inerrant morning judge, I surrender without condition to the mercy of your court. All the things that quote unquote cure you are things I should be doing anyway. As if Jiminy Cricket himself jumped into the mescal, you will reveal all the lessons learned and forgotten. And in the mornings, afternoons light, I will find the clarity that other drinkers drink to avoid. And this is new, so be gentle with it. That'd be rough. Do whatever. Mumble transition. There are people known to us as well as you who emphasize the place hope has in their lives, a prominent place of responsibility. These are kind-hearted people who mean well, and they mean for us to take this as advice, but I happen to know that hope runs with a bad crowd, was seen in a certain jar by a trusted friend of mine. Trust not in hope, but in action, which is at cross purposes, to do with no expectation, to work without a goal, to understand the result that you can get and how to be happy with it. That's how we find our way to a life we are satisfied with and somewhat surprised at. And once you do that, as soon as you sigh with the expectation of a deserved rest, here come the locust eaters to tell you, actually, that was all hope. That all your sweat, calculation, and craft was actually hope, was something the universe gave you, not something you squeezed out of the universe, rolled it up like a spent tube of toothpaste. Friends and beloveds, do not be enthralled to hope, the most arrogant evil that lurks to take credit for all the good we do. Do not be like our curious friend Pandora, who let hope tell her that all the other evils would tire themselves out and that things would be fine. Made her so inert that only chance and rainwater kept her alive. Hope waits like a vulture over our shoulders, waiting to eat all the good we did, waiting to sell the land that we surveyed. I say to you not to let it. I say to you, friend, to put your signature on everything you have done and not let hope plagiarize you. I say to you, beloved, that you have fulfilled your own prayers more than once. Now, what does that make you? And I'm going to do something different for the cover poem space, because this short story stuck with me for a long time, and it's sort of risen in the prominence of my mind. So over the next 4 weeks, I've broken it up into little parts, and I'm going to read My Father Addresses Me on the Facts of Old Age by Grace Paley. My father had decided to teach me how to grow old. I said, okay. My children didn't think it was such a great idea. If I knew how, they thought I might do so too easily. No, I said, it's for later, years from now. And besides, if I get it right, it might be helpful to you kids in time to come. They said, really? My father wanted to begin as soon as possible. Oh, for God's sake, he said, you can talk to the kids later. Now listen to me. Send them out to play. You are so distractible. We should probably begin at the beginning, he said. Change. First, there is change, which nobody likes, not even men. You'd be surprised. You can do little things, you putting cream on the corners of your mouth and also the heels of your feet. But here's the main thing. Oh, I wish your mother was alive. Not that she had time. But Pa, I said, Mama never knew anything about cream. I did not say she was famous for not taking care. Forget it, he said sadly. But I must mention squinting. Don't squint. Wear your glasses. Look at your aunt. So beautiful ones. I know someone has said men don't make passes at girls who wear glasses, but that's an idea for a foolish person. There are many handsome women who are not exactly 2020. Please sit down, he said. Be patient. The main thing is this. When you get up in the morning, you must take your heart in your two hands. You must do this every morning. That's a metaphor, right? Metaphor? No. You can do this. No, in the morning, you do a few little exercises for the joints, not too much. And then put your hands like a cup over and under the heart, under the breast. He said tactfully, it's probably easier for a man. And then talk softly. Don't yell. Under your ribs, just push a little. When you wake up, you must do this massage. I mean, pat, stroke a little. Don't be ashamed. Very likely no one will be watching. And then you must talk to your heart. Talk. What? Say anything, but be respectful. Maybe say, heart, little heart, beat softly, but never forget your jaw, the blood. You can whisper also, remember. For instance, I said to it yesterday, heart, do you remember my brother Grisha? How he made work for you that day when you came to the store and he said, your boss's money's in you right now. How he put a gun in my face. And I said, Grisha, are you crazy? Why don't you ask me at home and I would give you? We were in this America not more than 2 years. He was only a kid. And he said, who needs your workers' money for the movement? Only from your boss. Oh, little heart, you worked like a bastard, like a dog, like a crazy slave, bang, bang, bang that day. Remember? That's the story I told my heart yesterday, my father said. What a racket it made to answer me. I remember, till I was dizzy with the thumping. Why'd you do that, Paul? I don't get it. But don't you see? This is good for the heart, to get excited. Just as good as for the person. Some people go running till late in life for the muscles, they say, but the heart knows the real purpose. The purpose is the expansion of the arteries, a river of blood. It cleans off the banks, carries junk out of the system. I myself would rather remind the heart how frightened I was by my brother than go running in a strange neighborhood, miles and miles with the city so dangerous these days. I said, oh, but then I said, well, thanks. I don't think you listened, he said. As usual, probably worried about the kids. They're not babies, you know. If you were better organized, you wouldn't have so many worries. To be continued.
Yo, that is a super cool use of that space. You know, I've always suggested serialized performances. You know, come back for the next part. So that's perfect. All right, Kit. So, as always, awesome shirt. And how can people online check you out?
All right, we got Old Yeller here, Old Faithful. Instagram at Kit Ren Away, Twitter at Kid Talk Sports, Kofi.com/Kit Ren. Tie in with the music if you think about it. Facebook, easy enough. You can send me an email. You can drop something in the tip jar by typing my email into PayPal and giving me money through the internet. If that's what you want to do. I don't know. I don't know your life. All right, and I'll see you next week.
Alrighty then. Yes, awesome. And also, speaking of new shit and just promoting Kit, I do have a video that I uploaded of his Poetry Month set at Craft Rhythm and Brews as well. You can check that out on our YouTube channel. So if you have some time after the show, save the link. In fact, I posted the link on the YouTube chat as well as on here. So check that out. There's also one of Robin's poetry set. And as I mentioned, there's a lot more coming up, like a flood. There's going to be a flood of videos and performances that I've just kind of held on to, and the return of the podcast, because I interviewed one of our local authors who's also an awesome performer, signed up here before, but hasn't been able to make it, unfortunately, but she's another awesome poet. Just like Hannah Delisimo was saying earlier, you know, there's a lot of cool poets in our community that sometimes just can't make it on Monday nights or just be online. So, you know, we're still meeting a bunch of new peeps, and that's the best part. So follow our YouTube channel if you haven't already, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you, Kit. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the list. All right, we are gonna, all right, wait, let me make sure I'm reading this right. Okay, yes. So coming to us from the center of a Mars crater, his own words. Let's go ahead and tap in with our buddy Nick Paleologos. What's going on, man? How you doing, Nick?
What up?
Oh,
Man,
Lightning Thunder.
thank you. I had one of the best weeks of my life. Last week I was in Pittsburgh. I got to meet Vale and Shockey, and on the way back from Pittsburgh, I got to meet Christopher Moore, which is awesome. And then I went to a convention like the following week, that weekend after, and I met a voice actor, Keith Silverstein, and Keith voiced one of my favorite characters in an anime called Hunter x Hunter. And when I pulled out my book to show Keith covered one of my poems in my book in the character's voice of Hoshoka from Hunter x Hunter. I was losing my mind. I couldn't believe that this is actually happening. It was amazing.
Please tell me you had that recorded.
Unfortunately, I was so enthralled in the moment. I do not have it recorded, but it was just like you had to have been there. It was wild. Like, I'm like, this is like voicing one of my favorite villains ever. I didn't even ask Keith to do it. And Keith did it. And I was just like, you know, shout out to Keith Silverstein right there. But yeah, like, I don't want to keep going on about that. I don't want to give you all poetry and everything. So I'll give y'all 3 pieces if I have time for it and everything. So the 2 of them are relatively new and one of them is from the book. So let's see. Let me go find that real quickly. This is the first one, if I can find it, because of course I lose all my stuff and everything. That just happens. Mumble transition. Yes. Let's start with this one right here. After midnight is usually when trouble rears through the steel curtain of the night sky. Not this day. I saw gleaming lights in the building stating, "You are home. Now come forth and witness beauty." I saw heaven in the next day. Quite the quiet city, clean as crystals themselves, clear like a beautiful sunset. Steel beams raised out of a mountainside forest, built bridges over the rivers we'd go. To witness a city both untouched by time and modernized, to see history in the making, to see the mysticism of villages under the guise of a city. I fell in love at first sight. My eyes cried stars into your canvas, unseen by the many, by only me, for you immaculately recepted me in the three rivers. My heart fell in love with you, but remember this, New Jersey and New York has my soul, but Pittsburgh will always have my heart. So yeah, that was the first one right there. And this is the second one. It's one of my newest ones. I actually never presented this one before to anyone, but here we go. Let's see how this works. I want you to wear your real skin around me, not the facade you put up on the day-to-day. We all know that drains energy from you. You don't have to worry about judgments in my court, for there is no gavel or sound block, no robes to wear, none of the crazy, fraudulent judge hair from the past. I don't know what it's called, and I don't care. I care about what you want to say. I'm here for ears to give to you, to listen to your story, without any form of snark response. I want sparks from the very vocal cords that resemble a cheer, an awe at the miracle that it took you to get to you up on the platform and speak onto existence, your existence. Say less. Say less without saying too much. For I know our stomachs are so hungry for a good story and will cancel out the negative like a bad dry heave of a 3-point shot that it took a Ray Allen Game 6 clutch shot performance to even make it here. Everyone, get your asses up here. There's 2 ears that want to hear you speak life, breathe it like acid rain had fallen from the fertile brains. Now, I ask you all to listen to the voices of the deities. All right. And I figured the best way, since cover poems did originate here and everything, Keith did cover my poem and everything called Bubblegum Baby Dream, so I'll read that one to close out. Thank you, Keith, for that. I don't know if you're watching this, but thank you, Keith Silverstein. Dreams are endless, lucid, liquid bubbles. Dreams don't die unless you feed them to monetary mouths, speaking in per capita. It's capitalism capsizing dreams to a titanic capital punishment. Thoughts teetering on teeth get chewed and blown, bubbles like bubble gum exploded all over the place, caught all over the lips and cheeks as it orbits around the sweet mint, double the mint. Reassembled back together to be liquefied, guzzling down throats going south, taste buds soured at the thought. Dreams always need a mouth to mouth. For 7 years stuck in sleep paralysis, aware, muted. Dreams sleep for winter slumber, become firewood and incinerated. Chew it like we're in the big leagues, last 15 seconds and spit it out like tobacco, not even leaving a dent in the ice. Dreams of anything. Inebriated by booze, they snooze, awaiting another day to finally begin again. Back to square one. Square up brute behavior, demeanor the denominator, I'm calling for a savior. My dreams lost its flavor like a hubba bubba blaster disaster. Dreams change as often as bubble gum, bubble yuck. I want my dream to be recognized for my effort that I put into my pieces. Build, retool. Is this what 5 gum tastes like? My dream has morphed from a big red to a juicy fruit to a trident that's being extra sensory. I'm rebuilding my territory. Was it all a dream, though? Once I applied it to reality, am I living my dream? The hell if I know. I've seen enough these last 15 years that anything really is possible. Start a dream and build the reality. House it. Hold it. Love it. It's your dream, baby. Mine will cultivate until it's realized. Thank y'all for having me. Y'all are awesome.
No, thank you, man. You are awesome. And you know what? Even if you didn't have get to record it, you have your memory of that. And that's very precious, So that's amazing. How can people follow you online, man, that are seeing you for the first time and or just want to support you in your work?
If you want to follow me online, the real Nick PNIG Facebook, Nick Palogos. I am doing a festival live in Jersey on the 21st of August. So come through for that one. I will also be at New York City Comic Con. So if you're in the New York area and you're like, you want to come see me and everything, all dressed up and everything to the nines and costumes, I'm all about that and everything. I got a lot on the men, so I'll drop all that info in the chat because if I list it all, it'll be like a 50-minute block or something like that. So let me just drop my info in the chat and thank you all. You all are awesome. Love to you all. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, it could be a thing like, all right, you're tuning into the Stay at Home Open Mic and you've just reached the Nick Palogos Hour.
Yeah, but also peep the shirt because it's International Cat Day. So,
oh, yes. Apparently, I didn't know this. Damn it. I did not know this. My cat's all looking at me scornfully through the window right now. Sorry, buddy. All right. I'll make it up. All right. So that was Nick. Everyone. And you heard the shout out too at the beginning. And it just so happens that they are next. Joining us from Pittsburgh, we have Vale Larkin, who I saw the photos. I saw you guys got to meet up. That's super cool. So we have Vale once again, always back and ready to rock it. What's going on?
Hey, yeah, I got to meet Nick. I fed him pasta, as one does. Look, he's cheering. And that was great. I found out that my platonic partner in Chicago is going to visit me at the end of October, so that's exciting. So I'm doing well. I know I've done this here before, but I just really want to do it. I've been thinking a lot about this person, and it's in their honor. This poem, which is a sequence, has trigger warnings for childhood abuse, medical abuse, violence, and suicide. And I should mention that it's violence against children. Luella lost. 1. The dark photographs of her, dark curls, bow mouth, smiling cheeks, and the shadows beneath her bright eyes, like an old, worn face at the end of its hope, like the shadows in photographs of my mother and me, was so very like hers, her curls, her lips, the shadows, when we two were so young. 2. The war was well over, and she went to nursing school, where the nuns taught her medicine and surgical skills and mental mathematics. And they taught her that all life is precious save the lives of the life-bringers. Still, she caught sight of a future for the first time. The shadows faded a little. 3. When she married him, that man of God with so very little of man's money, man's schooling, man's selfish, grasping ways, she immersed herself. Her hand turned from strangers in wards to neighbors, parishioners, mothers on farms and in ramshackle houses, where her husband brought faith and game, firewood, and a good tight roof if needs must, for Jesus knew hunger and want sap the spirit. While she tended their wounds and brought forth their children and raised up her own. 4. Be fruitful and multiply. Abraham, Margaret Mary, Esther, David, Eli, Sarah, Hannah, Victoria, And oh, how they multiplied, multitudes of them, always in motion around her and always in danger. She knew it. She lived it. She knew they weren't safe. 5. Esther tells the story of how many times she would bathe them each day when they came inside from their chores, before church, before school, before supper and Bible study and nighttime chores. Finished and right before bed, they were cleaner and brighter than real children. They were perfect. 6. Abraham tells the story of the night he woke. Still, silent house. The creak of the wind-blown screen door that his mother had not latched when she left. She was nowhere. His father was not there. He stood at the door, breath frozen like the night outside. The bleakness settled. He felt certain the rapture had come for the righteous. He knew he was now alone. His father brought her home at dawn, face drawn, hands limp and faded at her sides. Abraham tells the story of how empty her eyes were. His father said the woman's baby had died. 7. Margaret Mary tells the story of the basement stairs and why she cannot descend any staircase in her entire life if someone is walking behind her. She does not remember it. She remembers the floor. She remembers the light returning, and with it, her mother's silhouette against the open doorway at the top. 8. David cannot remember when they took her away for the first time. 9. She sits in the moment. Past faded like sun-scorched photographs, the shadows obscured by blazes of cruel white, like the correction fluid on patient charts, like the hands of a father, like the erasure of a child, girl, woman life. She sits in the moment, future scorched sear by their high-voltage medicine. She cannot remember what she once wanted. She cannot remember how to subtract herself from passion, ambition, brilliance, or power. She cannot envision a world beyond lightning. 10. Eli cannot remember why his neck is scarred. He says he cannot. His rage comes from nothing. He believes in God more than anyone else, and his God is fury-filled. His father's new table saw was the last one he owned. 11. They sent all the little ones away, like they were leaving with her. But everyone scattered, Sarah here and Hannah there, and Victoria given to one with no infants. Her, she went back to the moment, back to the lightning, subtraction. Mother's Day. She had begged him to leave her. She knew she was deadly. She knew they were endangered. He loved her. 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 The knife did not work like she hoped that it would. Rope is more reliable. When they came to take her back to the hospital, she was already gone. Abraham was 10 years old. I'd like to use my opportunity, instead of promoting something, to encourage anyone who knows of a child who might be being abused to say something, because it has long-term consequences far beyond the life of that child. And if you're having mental health troubles, get help, because things have significantly improved since the 60s.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Everyone show some love in the chat. Use those emojis. Thanks for sharing that. Heavy stuff for sure, but very important message. So definitely it's great to remind everyone, right? Yes. Thank you, Val. Okay. Uh, yeah, yeah. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and we got a couple more peeps, guys, but there are some open spots. So if anyone doesn't want to jump in, you're more than welcome to. I always say I want to stay away from peer pressure. So this is just an open invitation. There's a couple spots, and so if you do want to perform, you can just shoot me a message or Kit, and we'll add you to the list. But right now we're gonna go to Washington D.C., where you can guarantee to have a few jokes with this bloke, and he's got some rhymes all day, baby. Let's go
All the
ahead and
time.
welcome Ed Poetastic.
Woo! Because you made me feel fantastic. Thank you for your words, made me feel so bombastic. Thank you for being so enthusiastic. All right. My name is Ed Potasco. I feel fantastic. Please get in time to join my rhyme for I feel sublime. I got a joke for you folks. All right. What did the chicken and the fish call their love? Surf and turf. Why do turkeys hate Thanksgiving? It always leaves them stuffed. What do you call a pumpkin who loves hot sauce? A jack-o'-lantern. Why was the cat an amazing stunt man? He only has 9 lives. Why was the shark a bad greeter? He always looked sharp and loved to show everyone his big smile. What was the gingerbread man's greatest fear? The Cookie Monster. How do we get sports? Here's the scoop. Love was served. And last but not least, why was the mosquito a bad comedian? His jokes really sucked. His material really itches. All right, hope you guys love those jokes, and I got 3 poems for you folks. All right, woo! This is called Dream On. Dream on to catch your planet, live on to shine your light, walk on to taste the sun, run on to feel your core, fly on to hug the clouds, see on to grasp your horizons, hear on to sense the chimes, fly on to expand the freedom, crawl on to hug the earth, wonder on to build the sea, search on to touch the gold, play on to wake the creatures, hate on to feel the storms, cry on to sink the ocean, fight on to hold the lightning, sing on to control the clouds, speak on to call the flames, dance on to shake the lands, sleep on to travel the cosmos, think on to absorb the skies, love on to shape the stars, go on to ride the tides. All right, got one. My second piece is called Rooted Shadow. Sometimes blood is thicker than water, no direction, guidance, or father. My blood boiling hotter, hotter, and hotter. My clear tears feeling like raging salt water. A swollen heart bursting from confusion, chasing questions while an easy end. Gone to so many inner executions, I couldn't comprehend the struggles that transcend. A shadow danced on eggshells, nails, and glass, praying for God could offer it a holy sign. You know, a little sunlight for this little grass. Too bad the line to divine was declined. I was alone with a name I didn't understand. I had empty heart and even emptier hands. I bathed in emptiness and loneliness firsthand, trying to understand the foggy meaning of how to be a man. Every single Father's Day, I was completely alone. No joys of celebrating past times. The grief slowly melting in my bones. I was young, yet I wasn't in my prime. My whimpering cries fall on deaf ears. No light in my mental cave. The inner mockings of my fears. My depression come in millions of waves. My existence flickering the chaotic storms. My mind bogging the concept of who am I? The echoes wishing I wasn't born. I couldn't see a glimmer of light in my inky sky. Why learn the deepest depth of life? The virtue is you really don't need family. Yes, life is full of inner and outer spite. Truly love whoever you are, but don't be hazily unhappy. Remember that empty loneliness is a great teacher. Whenever you plant a tiny seed, be there to make it stronger and never weaker. Do whatever to proceed to make him or her succeed. Okay, last but not least, this is called Dirt and Snow. Clean slate, there's no such thing. Everything's dirty, even your clothes and rings. Clean slate, you and I aren't holy. If you believe, you're not telling the whole story. Clean slate, everyone did or done something unclean. Don't scowl at me, I don't want to be mean. Clean slate, you think of your flawless perfection. Trust me, that word has no logical satisfaction. Clean slate, we've all been abused by some a-hole. Thank goodness we still have a heart and soul. Clean slate, you can't be innocent in this world. Some things can make you barf and hurl. Clean slate, please stop lying to yourself. Childhood memories, oh, you hide that book on the shelf. Clean slate, there was one man who was holy and supreme. He wanted to say, but couldn't because of the fiends. Clean slate, you don't know? This world will eat and drink you alive. Your innocence is as delicious as soda or wine. Clean slate, you think it's that easy to forget or forgive? No, the mud is with you wherever you go or live. Clean slate, toss it far and deep in the dirt. We all know denial hurts. Clean slate, please learn and don't do it ever again. Tell your family and friends before you reach a blank end. Thank you.
Yeah. Keep going. Yeah, whistle solo. All right. Was that it? Are we doing a whistle edition?
Whistle, oh, sure.
No, man. So what you got going on this week? Or would like to promote?
Sure, no problem. I want to promote our me and Finn Bell's wonderful movie night. We're it's on Wednesday at 8:45 p.m. We're featuring Evita and another movie. So please come, bring your slippers, bring your snacks, bring your other stuff. So don't remember to pack some extra fluff.
All right, man. I dig that. Yeah, check it out. And then a mystery movie. If you want to know, you gotta go to find out. Also, you can find them online. Eddie Foreman, right? On Facebook. And all right, cool.
You got this, bro. You got this. And Ed Form 92 on IGN. And I'm always here, please, with extra cheer. Thanks so much for having me here.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. I love it. Thank you again for bringing your good vibes, man. Good energy all the time. All right, let's see. We did have a couple people added up on the list, so right now we're gonna go to Malaysia and visit Julian Matthews, who always has some great stuff that he brings to the table. All right, Julian, what's going on, man? Glad you made it today.
Hi.
Hey.
This is called Tangerine Dream. When I was a kid in school, there was an orange sweet we ate that had a teaspoon of salt cocooned inside its oval center. The idea was to suck it slowly, melt its hard outer layer, thinning it until the salty part burst open like a ripened seed pod to shock my taste buds into submission. My senses swinging from one end of the spectrum of candied joy to the opposite end of briny salinity, like I had swum too far from the beach and swallowed a huge gulp of the ocean. The first time I tasted it, egged on by my schoolmates, it was like a power punch to the mouth, a riot of pain blended with pleasure, and I had to scrunch up my face like Gilbert Gottfried playing Gollum to the laughter of my circle of watching friends. Of course, with repeated consumption of those sweets, as in any drug, I never got the same high. Most times I just crunched down straight off and chewed up the hard bits while the salt swirled in my mouth, eventually losing its sting like a morning gargle down a sink. Tonight I remember that particular sweet, and I thought of you in a tempting, tangible way. This must have been the way Adam may have fondled the forbidden fruit, persuaded by Eve to take the second bite, nervous, yet excited, and ever curious. But in this dream, the mythical apple is replaced by this orangey, tangy delight. I imagine unwrapping you from both ends, like that sweet of old, shedding you from your translucent plastic skin, putting you inside my wet and warm mouth, and slowly, slowly feeling you unravel from your saccharine outer self, melding with my own moist tongue. The same tongue more known for its dry wit than this slippery, salivatory suffusion, as it finds itself going deeper and deeper, stripping layer after layer, until it reaches your salty, acerbic inner core, and you erupt with a final volcanic rush. Then I choke, shaken awake from my stupor, like a sleepwalker blindly tumbling into a swimming pool, a fool and his fantasy separated like conjoined twins in a botched surgery, leaving both me and my ego bloodied and dying on the cold steel operating table, cheeks reddened and pufferfish bloated, heart throbbing, mouth gasping for air, but mind holding on to that one last sensory memory of the first time when sweetness gave in to the saline dropkick in my orifice and I was heavenly and hellishly concussed, momentarily gripped in your tangerine goodness. And all around me, everyone is smiling, even laughing, while I keel over in death, suckered by the honey of your breath. Thank you.
All right, man. Awesome. Thank you. How you doing today? Everything good, Julian? Yeah. How can people follow you online? I know you put content online and everything.
Yeah, I just drop it in the chat.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much. Love the rainbow. All right, it's been raining a lot, so it's always good to see rainbows as well. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and oh yeah, we did have a surprise guest jump on in. It's always a treat. He's off doing his thing, and it's always great to see all the updates, getting into his industry. And but we already know him. It's been a while since he's been here, but let's go ahead and welcome back to the stage Matthew Marroquin. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
In a minute. I haven't been anywhere online in a minute. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just tired.
It's good to have you, man.
Yeah, I try to get to even to like, let's say the New Year, which is like my starting grounds. Slept through it because I was too tired. But yeah, I just saw a post about this and I was like, I can make it. Why not? Just hop on. Yeah, writing has been difficult to do with everything I've been doing. But I'll get into a poem that I wrote a few weeks ago and wrote it on the spot a few weeks ago. Haven't touched it since. This is a poem about anxiety. It's about how I freak out over paperclip matters, mind racing, brain reactor gone nuclear, and the feeling of the unweighted blankets of my bed are too heavy to ever lift, drift again to sleep. Or maybe this is a poem about depression, because this tired tiger on Michael V has not letting me get up, mind making me feel so tired. I don't want to do anything, yet the world keeps on going, bills keep on coming. I must keep on working to survive, but it never stops, and I'm still tired. Or maybe this is a poem about masking and how I hide pain within hollow shells behind brick city walls, yet still look so happy outside. So happy, happy, because I was told once that I was the happy one. So like, if I'm not that, who will I be? Or maybe this poem is about finding oneself and saying fuck it to those who try to chain you to how they imagine you should be. Decided on your existence before you could ever decide yourself. Or maybe this poem is just me ranting Because like poetry is supposed to be full of juxtaposing words and phrases that don't always make sense, but tell a story of feeling. And I'm just telling you my feeling, but it got no happy ending, at least not right now. And can it still be a story without a happy ending? I don't know. Maybe I'll feel better soon. Maybe I won't. Maybe I find out if this is really even a poem. Maybe. Thanks. That's the thing. What do I do? Yes. Link stuff. I'll put my links in the chat. I'm doing a lot of different things right now. A lot of acting. I just got a thing with just booked the audition for finally with theaters. I've been doing a lot more like film background stuff and like commercials, which heaven bless commercials because they pay way better.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I just got a thing with Sketch of New York, so comedy stuff. But I'll put my links in the chat if y'all want to follow me. I think most of y'all do already. So yeah.
Grab a little Matt in the chat. Dig it, man. Appreciate having you. And yeah, good luck. I see that you're working hard, man. And it's very inspiring to see. Just gonna say that. It's good seeing you here. Even though it's like super late. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I forgot to change it over back to me. Matthew Manokin, everyone. I gotta actually let me do this really quick. I'm gonna copy this from our Zoom chat and put it on our YouTube live stream for anyone who wants to access that as well. And as always, after the show is done, we do keep the Zoom room open. So if you're watching on YouTube and ever want to just hang out with us, I mentioned this last time, and I feel like I should mention it more often. If you're like someone who wants to read, but maybe you don't feel like you don't want to share whatever you wanted to share, like in public, like on a live stream, then you're certainly welcome to still share with us. After we end the live stream, you're more than welcome to join us in the Zoom chat and share anything you'd like. It's not being live streamed. It's just us here. So if you ever want feedback or anything like that, that is an option. You know, I definitely want to make sure that's understood as well for our viewers and even you guys right here. Sometimes you just don't want to share things in public, you know. With that said, I have a question and I want to know if Dan the Man is ready to go this time. Because it is that time. Well, actually, I have some poems that I have ready just in case, because lately I've been having to like stall and I don't want to, but if I need to, I will. All right, Dan, what's up? Are you here? This is the summoning portion of the night. I'm not using a Ouija board. I'm just using a keyboard. And the man, are you here? And then just, you know, he's haunting my computer. No. Okay. Let's see. Mystery. Okay. So radio silence on that end. I do want to mention that if you are in the El Paso area, I invite you to, of course, join these online mics. But if you just want to casually sit in on a live open mic where we get a variety of performances and performers, you're more than welcome to join us at any of our in-person open mics in El Paso this week. Again, pay attention to the date. So yeah, this week we are going to be at Craft Rhythm and Brews on Friday. I like Craft Rhythm and Brews because it's at a brewery. It's all ages, but we get to do our thing in a separate room, and that's really nice. Because sometimes it could be a little bit much, sharing the room with people ordering and that are just there to hang out. So this time, this place we get our own room. And if you looked at any of the links I shared with Robin and Kit, then their Poetry Month, I recorded their performances. It's on YouTube now. You can check it out. So if Dan isn't going to be here right away, maybe someone can send them a message. I'll share a couple of pieces that I have saved. Oh, Dan, what's up? You made it. What's going on? Did you fall asleep?
Sorry, I have to step away for a bit. I apologize.
No worries. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna read one prose, and then I'm gonna use a split, and then I need you to reintroduce me.
Sure.
Okay,
Did-
let's start. Okay, go ahead. Just introduce me a short one.
I've introduced you 3 times. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's go and welcome to the stage Dan the Man.
Thanks a lot, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Okay, I am gonna read one poetry, and I mean one poetry. And I do sound like, and I said I suck, sound like Alan Rickman. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, guys. Yeah, I like Alan Rickman from. Yeah. Like, and I say, and I do sound like one. Like $1 million in your vault. Okay. All right. So, okay. I'm gonna do one poetry, and it's called okay, from Swans by Mary Oliver. It's called Dancing in Mexico. Okay. Not myself, but Maria, who, when her work is done, tune tunes in the radio, goes out into the garden, picks up the front feet of the little dog Ricky and dances. She dance. Quote. And it's page 22. And then Percy walks with me, 14, page 13. Percy wakes me up and I am not ready. He has slept all night under the covers. He's eager for action, for a walk, then breakfast. So I hasten up. He is sitting up on the kitchen counter where he is not supposed to be. How wonderful you are. I say, how clever you, if you needed me to wake, he is thought would hear a lecture deeply, his eyes begins to shine. He's tumbled onto the couch more compliments. He squirms and squeals. He has done something that he needed, and how he hears that he is okay. I scratch his ears. I turn him over. I touch him everywhere. He is wild with the oakliness of it. Then we walk, then he had breakfast, then he is happy. It's a poem about Percy. The poem about more than Percy. Think about him. Think about it. Yeah. Yeah, that was Percy wakes me, 14. I think he's talking about his dog. Yep. Mary Oliver by Swan. Okay. And that is it for right now. I'll prepare something for next Monday. Okay, Richie. Reintroduce me, please.
And now, people of the internet and elsewhere, introducing your next performer, Daniel Tennessee Jr., aka Dan the Man.
Yep. Thank you, Richie. Thank you very much. Okay. As we all know, this is the 39th birthday tribute. I just prepared a poetry you guys are gonna like. And it's about Eric Boseman. Does anybody know Eric Boseman? Richie, you know him very well. I guess not. Okay. Okay. He is the king. He's kind of like the king, if you might know, but he's also the producer. He's also producer, creator, editor, and musician for the Star City Studios. And he's also the co-founder and member of the El Paso International Music Foundation. Okay, let me show you the. Yeah. Okay, there he is. There's Eric, and there's the logo right there. Yeah. And where is that scroll? Oh, here it is. And there he is, our friend Eric. Yep, an excellent musician he is. All right, and also representing our hometown as well. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, and now I give you the poetry to Eric Boseman. You guys are gonna like this. My friend Eric. Damn. My friend Eric, the musician, the drummer, guitarist, and also producer, music creator, founder of the foundation, and champion to the music industry of the Sun City. As a musician, bringing the taps of drumming, boom, 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 and boom, 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 playing to the playing notes of guitaring and any genre like acoustic, jazz, Americana, bluegrass, among other genres that brings his magic to the music. And according to the song by John Miles, music. And aside from musician, he works as producer, editor, creator for Star City Studios, and created several music representing recognized several artists, bands, solos, groups, performance, crew, recitalists, playwrights, among others, that surrounded the borderland of the Sun City's bandstand, studio committees. Like several artists representing like our dear friends Elia Sparza, Chrissy Gurola, Amalia Malagron, Stan Z, Lavelle Jones, among others, and several bands like our friends Dusty Lowe, Emily Davis and the Murder Police, don't ask, Frontera Boogaloo, the Ivies, Feline Fox, among others. Yep, several artistry to handpick the mysteries, earning the nickname like Eric, like he earns a nickname, according to Donna Summers, Mr. Music. Besides Star City Studios, he's one of the members of the El Paso International Music Foundation, representing the music industry right here in the Sun City of El Paso, especially Las Cruces or Juarez, like from east side to west side, the region also. And besides citywide, he also brings it nationwide and expands it worldwide. And according to poetry, and I quote, poetry set to music by Caitlin Booth. And here it is. In school, they teach you to keep time, to count the syllables, but never rhyme. The rhyming and alliteration are so much fun. Susan Silverstein, say that's how it's done. They tell me how it's done. They tell me that my poetry is wrong, but it could be right if it's a song. End quote. That's poetry set to music by Caitlin Booth. Yeah. Eric, my friend, it's music you bring, the acoustics you sing, the guitar you play string, it's the drumsticks you drum something. And also the creation of the music with the representation to our hometown across the nation. We thank you for representing our hometown with the genres of anything with the instrumentals, melody, or sentimental harmonies. That's the music you bring, and we sing this song according to Sly and Family Stone. Dance to the music. See you later, Eric, the musician, drummer, guitarist, producer, music creator, founder of the foundation, and champion to the music industry of the Sun City. Hope all is well. End quote. That is the poetry to Eric Boseman, our friend. All right. And there's the birthday poems I did based on Facebook that used to be on the notes, which was, but this one's ready. And it is titled Eric Boseman. He is the Leo of the Fix, the Peridot of the Onyx, meaning strength of character and family, linking to the element fire, and the Gladius and Poppy of the Iriduxi. It's because his birthday is on the 11th day of the 8th month in the year classified. Born and raised in Anchorage, Alaska, prior to El Paso, Texas. From from Anchorage High School to the University of North Texas to the Music College of Industry of Music. Yep. To the College of the Music Industry. His successful rise to fame as a musician, drummer, guitarist, producer at Star City Studios, and member of the El Paso International Music Foundation, he signifies a thriving scholar full of drive for success. His favorite color, purple, resembles from a gemstone called purple sapphire to a mountains called the Purple Mountains in Alaska, to the soldier's decorated Medal of Valor called Purple Heart. We thank the soldiers for their service. And this color reminds me of two songs. For Purple Rain by Prince, Purple Rain, to Purple Heather by Rod Stewart. To the purple heather, to the go, lassie go. Yeah. He signifies empathy, prominence, independence, wisdom, poise, coming and goings, enlightenment, compositions, inspiration, juxtapose, creativity, solemnity, patience, safekeeping, complexity, flexibility, portrait, faith, friendship, and family. Eric, my friend, here's to another year of experience. Keep up on what you do best as a champion of the music industry, representing our hometown of the 915. All right, wishing you all the best in your future endeavors. Look forward to see you perform very soon. Thank you. Hope all is well. And that is the poetry called Eric Boseman, based on my birthday poems on Facebook that I used to have. Okay, and let me show you one more time. Hang on.
So show us your card, man. How can we? Because we already saw that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, here he is, Eric Boseman, representing our city, and also one of the champions of the music industry, representing our hometown of the 915. Okay. All right, don't forget my 39th birthday tribute to Eric Boseman this Thursday. You guys don't miss it. Okay, you guys gonna like it. Okay. All right. All right, here it is. We didn't weep it. Yep. Follow me. I'm behind post on Twitter and Facebook. I do apologize for that, but you can still catch my Instagram and find Dan the Man's Weekly on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Okay, guys. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you guys right back here next Monday. Okay, Richie, go ahead and take us out. Take us home.
All right, yo, hey, I want to give a shout out to also, in case you don't know, yeah. So Eric Boseman wholeheartedly supports BWOMS. Like, he's honestly one of our biggest supporters. A lot of you have not met him, but he's here in El Paso, and if you heard a little bit of what Dan said and all that, he's great. You know, he's a really nice guy. He's supported BWOMS in different ways, from donations to even just inviting me to MC a bunch of their events through El Paso International Music Foundation, which has been great, and also featuring me on Make Music Day, which was cool. You know, Make Music Day is an international thing, and you know, he invited me to share poetry And so for someone to recognize poetry too, in that light, I think is important. Uh, so I'm gonna end the night with a couple of cover pieces I wanted to read today. But thank you guys for tuning in, and it's cool hanging out with you guys again. We're gonna be here for a little bit. I just felt like reading a couple of these pieces. First, I want to give a shout out to my honestly, in the past decade, one of my best friends. Her name's Kirsten, and when I talk about BWOMS being a platform, she wrote this chapbook, and we did the release party, the reading and release party at BWOMS at Black Orchid, and it was just such a special treat. She wrote a nice like tribute note here at the end, but I'm gonna share one of her pieces, and then I'm gonna end the night with some other cover poems. They're all good. I'm gonna read one. It's called Currently. You trip me up. I'll disintegrate like a graham cracker. My insides are of nail polish and playlists. Pick which one you want to hear. Occasional Spanish hiccup. I'm only human-ish. Her story is relevant. It's me. It's who I am not with you, but when I am without a clamato, scented garnish, mostly for the sunsets to swallow and reincarnate into the night. I am beautiful and recycled, polished just right, young never again, as I seize the last remnants of questionable choices, room to make astounding entrances, and people to never see again. I'll probably read a couple of these in the next upcoming weeks as well, just as tribute. I'll tag her. And I'm going to end with a couple of pieces that I've been reading through. I was recently revisiting Jose Olivares, who is a poet extraordinaire. This dude's on another level. His collection, Citizen Illegal, is amazing. I think it's a great book about immigration and, second generation Mexican American, like living in Chicago. So let's see. One of my favorites. I think I read this one before, but it's just fun to read. It's called, he has a series of poems all throughout the book called Mexican Heaven. So this is one of them. Mexican Heaven. Tamales, tacos, tostadas, tortas, pozole, sopes, huaraches, menudo, horchata, jamaica, limonada, agua. Okay. This one's called I Love the World So Much I Married It. Music. Even on the day my grandma died, there were mangoes, though I tasted nothing. But slowly I came back to the world and carne asada. Better than I remembered, smoke off the meat. I could not contain my happiness, even though it felt offensive to smile with my grandma buried and getting eaten by the flowers. And sometimes I look at my love and think I would like to stay and put a welcome mat on our doorstep with our names hyphenated. When I was young, I believed in forever. Then my uncle died, and I knew forever included none of my family, included no friends. Their stories rotting in my head until I lose them again. So I know I will divorce the world and let it keep my most treasured possessions, a 6-piece with lemon pepper and mild sauce on, all the honey of a slow kiss, my Apple Music playlists, the way mi abuelita smiled and called me Lupito. I hated that name, except when she said it. So there's that one. And then last one. My family never finished migrating. We just stopped. We invented cactus to survive the winters. We created steel at my dad's mill. I saw a man dressed like a Martian walk straight into the fire. The flames licked his skin, but like a pet, it never bit him. In the desert, they find our baseball caps, our empty water bottles, but never our bodies. Even the best ice agents can't track us through the storms. But I have a theory. Some of our cousins don't care about LA or Chicago. They build a sanctuary underneath the sand, under the skin we shed, so we can wear the desert like a cobija under the bones of our loved ones, bones worn thin as thorns, to terrorize blue agents, bones worn thin as guitar strings, so when the wind blows, we can follow the music home. All right. Citizen Illegal. Check it out. Jose Olivares. I got to meet him at AWP in San Antonio, and we brought him on as a guest reader speaker at our college here in El Paso. So, oh, man, it's great. Another Monday night. I believe next Monday we'll be, well, I know we'll be back, but I asked him, he said yes. So I don't want to assume, but I think we'll have another guest host in Kit Ren. So it's going to be very busy. Shout out to Sandy. I just see you on the YouTube channel checking in. Good to see you. We're going to go ahead and end the stream, but as always, you guys are more than welcome to hang out with us for a little bit in the Zoom call, chat it up, talk it up. I got some brews. I'm out of summer school, so I get to hang out a little bit better this time around. So for the Stay at Home Open Mic, yo, make sure you guys like and subscribe, all that good stuff, the cheesy things people say on YouTube. All right, peace. Have a good night, guys.